Let's fight. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Share the live for us. Smash that emoji button as well. Happy that Evelina Whitaker could be here with us and Siobhan McDonald. Paulette could be here too. Share, 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 share. Smash. Lovely folks. The many of you joining us. Let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Do let us know, brothers and sisters, if you're hearing us loud and clear. Is how we want to be heard. Loud and clear, so you can get the valid and credible information. Let us know. Let us know. We're happy to have all of you guys here with us. It's a privilege, true, real privilege to have you folks here with us. Yep, and we're ensuring at our end that we're shared to all the valid and credible places as well, so that others, that's the whole point of it, can get the valid and credible information too. We're not going to keep it all to ourselves, but good to have you wonderful folks on the live tonight, Irwin Dunn and Roxy McKenna, and the other folks who are joining us. It's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here with you folks. It's a privilege. Not a day, it's crazy country. All manner of things are happening. It's a crazy, beautiful, fantastic country. It's ours, and that's why we gotta fight for it, good folks. We gotta fight for it, not just drop our hands and say nothing can be done. Marlon Thomas, good to have all of you. Tessa Isaacs, Graves Andy Dan says loud and clear. Cheryl Welch, good to have you. Erwin Dunn, Abida Monroe, good to have you here with us too. Cheryl, good to see you. Donna Daly, Angela Jordan, thank you so much, Angela. Andrew says loud and clear. Good to have all of you on the live, good folks. How you all doing? Great to see you folks. Share, 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 share the live. Smash that emoji button for us folks as we get into it. As we get into it, ring the bell one time. For all of you who are now joining us, folks, thank you so much. All the husbands and the wives and the singles, all of you folks, the kids, the teenagers who tune into us, the politically inclined, those who just want a snapshot of how the day went. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, folks. Ring the bell one time for all of you. We got quite a few things to share with you. Let's start tonight. Let's start this evening, if you will. Let's start tonight. On the cards. On the card. What's on the card tonight? Let's touch it one time and see. What's on the card tonight? Lots happening. It's a crazy country. It's a crazy country. Yep. Colin Solomon, you know what I'm talking about. Babita, Sheila Boyd Child, Siobhan McDonald, Wanda Fraser. Good to have all of you on the live. We can start in Edinburgh. Then we can touch Madia. Come back to the city. To Shaw, found in a hotel in Queenstown, next door in Alberton. A man found dead on his doorsteps. Two struck down in Region 3 over the weekend by a drunken driver. It's a crazy country, folks. Oh, yes, it's a crazy country. It's undeniable. Norma Jones, Deborah Sharona Lynch, Dorothy David. It's a crazy, beautiful, fantastic country, but a crazy country nonetheless. The opener. Let's start in Edinburgh or Edinburgh, New Amsterdam. I wanted to introduce you to Mother, heartbroken, Melina Wilson, shocked. Melina has had to endure what no mother should endure. It's an unnatural thing for parents to bury kids. It's supposed to be the other way around. Melina lost her 24-year-old daughter, Tashana Wilson, quite recently. Tashana had what appeared to be a little cold. As the mother will tell us, In the first part, for the opener, the mother will tell, yeah, a little cold, a little something. You know, we expose ourselves during this Christmas, the elements, the rain, we shopping, we wiping, we cleaning, and out of abundance of caution, as an expecting mother, first child, Tashana Wilson decided she's going to go for some tests. At the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, mistake. Let's turn to her mother for some of the backstory. The opener tonight, Melina Wilson. She wants justice for her daughter, Tashana Wilson, who died at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. I think it was on the 7th day, December. She wants justice. Take a look. Take a listen. Some of what she told us in an interview. Edinburgh, New Amsterdam.
She was very quiet, so everyone knew. Kind-hearted. She was, friend. Friend, yes.
She's a friendly person.
Yes, she's a very friendly person, yes.
She was 23?
She's 24 years.
24 years old.
Yes.
And I learned that this was her first child.
Yes.
So I'm certain she was kind of happy having this.
Yes, very happy.
24.
Then she always said she wanted a girl. And when she went into the ultrasound, it's a girl, she calling everybody. Just anybody, I'm getting a girl.
Wow. So she was super happy.
Yes, very happy.
Perhaps started looking at baby clothes and...
Oh my, I don't talk about babies. Doesn't be going to the store, I gotta stop her putting back things. I said to Shannon, no, this is too much. When the baby born, the baby got to grow. And this is she going to grow out and she's not going to ever wear these clothes. So leave back some. Don't buy this, don't buy that. Take this, take that, yes.
So I can imagine it's an extra joy as a first-time parent.
Yes.
And you want everything to be so perfect. So I can imagine at 24, she was right there in excitement.
Yes.
What was that fateful day like? You said that she went to the New Amsterdam hospital. What took her day that particular day?
Oh, well, the week before, the Monday, she went, we was washing the wall with the pump, and, she had some sprinkles, so she didn't, pay it no mind, so she didn't change or dry off. She just the whole day doing work. So the night she said, she feeling feverish, right? So I said, because take off your clothes and so on, right? And she went and she go to the clinic. So she complained to them concerning, that she getting a little fever. So they gave her some tests. They gave her a test to do until Friday. So she was to go in Edinburgh clinic that day. So she said, it is early, so she's going to go take the test first. Then she's going to come back and go to the clinic. So when she got there, her blood sugar was low. Not as low as but it was a bit because she didn't eat before she left.
Was that?
That was the 6th.
The 6th. So
December.
Feverish conditions took her to the hospital for some tests.
Yeah, because she complained to the doctor that she getting a little fever. She feeling kind of feverish, like she getting flu. Yeah, that was that exactly what. Yes.
And what happened?
So he sent her to do tests. That was in the Tuesday, so she had to wait until Friday to take the test. Yes. So she went back there. When she got there, she telling that she feeling like she sugar low. Yes. So they admitted her because they said I wanted to monitor the baby. They want to run some, make sure the baby's okay. Yes. So Friday afternoon, she come and said Tashana got admitted. They said, I said, okay, I'm going and take her to Anamayo because with his work, she could go to Anamayo.
Were you expecting she was going to be admitted?
No, not because she leave, normal, but I know, right, that she blood sugar normally will get low. You understand? If she didn't eat, it would get low. Yes, so she go. Anyhow, when I get there, I saw her, they put a tube in her and they give her saline. So I asked them, I said, is she in labor? They said, no, baby's okay, the check baby. Everything is fine. But they said, I admitted because the blood sugar was low. And her pressure is above normal, right? So they just keep up observation. So I said, okay. So I tell you by I said, well, it can call for private. You understand? So man by tomorrow, which is Saturday, or Sunday, she will get discharged because just normal stuff. So anyhow, the Saturday I went there, 6 o'clock visit. Gaff, me and the
AM,
nurse Gaff, yes,
Saturday the
AM.
7th.
Yes, so the nurse said I'll give her 16 because remember she's a girl like finding out things. So
What are you guys talking about?
no, I telling the nurse that
Oh.
cause the nurse know her from small, right? So I said she probably got the nurse and she got to eat up and so I said yes. She said everything okay, but for the baby to develop, how thing because she's 7 months and yes, I said she don't. So the nurse said I could bring pepper. So I said she got achar at home. So I got because she said she mouth and getting taste. Right? And we give so I give her 6 units celebrate and things. I said okay. So I said because I said she problem is low sugar. Right? I don't be afraid when it's high. But when it's low, yes. And here we give go back midday.
So you spoke with your
Okay.
daughter that morning.
Yeah,
What did you
normal,
guys
okay. What the
talk
two
about?
we give off as normal. Mommy, when I come at mommy, when I come out, we gonna wash water because I had a dead. My sister died only like 2 weeks back. Yes. So I didn't have time to do. You understand? Remember it's Christmas and
Yeah.
we went to the last minute.
Yeah. So you're
Yes,
in that season.
yes. So she said, Mommy, I gonna wipe wall. I said, hello, you wipe. She said, I gonna wipe at the bottom. I said, you ain't gonna wipe nowhere. I gonna wipe. I said, you like run to do everything. She said, yeah, I gotta exercise because you remember I got in baby. I gotta do work. I said, yeah, you could do other work, right? And we laugh, she laugh, she think. I come away, midday I go. I visit her. She, no, she tell me, she said, Mommy, bring Carolina. But I had some pop choy. So I do the Carolina and the pop choy one side with a little tomato. She asked for cucumber and I take it, right? Because she said this ain't going to stabilize, my blood pressure if it's still high and so on. But the nurse told me that it was okay then, right? The blood
This is
pressure.
still on the Saturday the
The
7th.
Saturday, yes. So around like 2 o'clock, she come. She said, "Mommy, my blood sugar feel high, right?" And I tell the nurse, she said, the test here. She said no, but she's a girl. If she tells she sugar blood sugar is 200, believe me, it's done. If she said it's HI, no, it is over 600. If she said it is LO, no, it's real low. But she can say, "Man, you look at it, it feel like an 80." Believe me, then that is all want. And they said, no, because she knows her body. So that is why from the feeling she would know. Anyhow, the dawn ago, I saw her 4 o'clock. The same high sugar with no insulin. So I said, man, I called my nurse sister. I tell her. She said, man, the doctors know what they're doing. Maybe they know what they're doing. They're tiny kind of machine test. Good. Oh, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, to Shana, mommy, my blood sugar high, high. Mommy, my stomach pain in me. And she start crying. She said, mommy, my stomach pain in my back. I said, Tashana, tape them. Just like they know, can she got your phone. But like she didn't do it. Cat is find it your phone. I said, Tashana, tape them. I called my sister on another device. I said, Dana, listen. Tashana crying because she's a nurse. Was a nurse. She be tired. I said, Dana, because tiny crying because she's tiny. And nobody not attending to her. So I said to Shana, she
So
said,
you could
yes,
hear her on
mommy.
the phone crying.
Yes. She said, she stomach, she belly pain. It's the mommy, oh God. I call she buy, I give him her blood testing machine. I said, take it to the hospital. Come remember, I want to make sure that he take it care to the nurse, he give it to the nurse at the door, he come on back. Call again, mommy, oh God, my blood sugar high, high. But she calls it, mommy, I tell you, it's HI. right? Come on, the test it's HIV. And she thinks, she said, Mommy, there's like 10 something. She said, Mommy, they give me some insulin. Then she said, Mommy, it's about 11 o'clock since and they give my baby girl. She said, my baby girl, kick up, kick up. She said, no, kind of feeling, and she think. She come about 12 o'clock. She said, Mommy, they're taking me to ICU. She said, what happened? She said, my blood sugar still high. Right, so I said, oh, sure. She said, Mommy, how are you going to get low when they only giving me 5 units insulin and I tell them I must take 30 and all and then give me like 20, it wouldn't break like that, right? I said, girl, I can't do nothing because you're in the hospital, we thing and she called me that day, but if I check the phone, if I can go the direct times then. But home man, she called me. But she said, Mommy, it break. She says, two something. So I said, okay, thank
So
God.
this is the Sunday morning.
The Sunday morning around like 2, 3 o'clock time. Or maybe 4 because I never checked time because she called me home like that. Because every information she given me.
Understand.
Yes. She had no shot, Mr. Brett, nothing with all the sugar was high. Right, good. I go the morning, 6 o'clock this Sunday morning. She said, Mommy, my baby girl, I feel my baby girl move for the day. So I said, man, baby girl tired. Because whole night you nurse. Right? She said, my belly feels stiff. Now, I'm paid no mind, right? And I leave and I come away.
Folks, I want to turn your attention now. Thanks for pointing out, folks. We lost our audio for a little bit there. But that was the mother, Melina Wilson, of Tashana Wilson, who lost her life. Tashana was 24 years old, lost her life at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital about a week ago. And we have more information for you a little later on in our broadcast. Let us turn attention to some of the things we're following from this morning. The Signature Inn Hotel in Queenstown was a ghastly scene. Tushar Ridley Joseph was found unresponsive in a room in that hotel, and we later learned that he had 19 stab wounds. 19. He was in Georgetown on some business with the National Tushars Conference. There was an executive meeting on, they tell us, and we're following that, folks. Quite a bit of information coming out of the reports we've gathered during the course of the day. As I said, 19 stab wounds, and the police are in search of a suspect. They said that the Tushar, Mr. Joseph, left the hotel sometime last evening and returned with a male, they said, a male indigenous gentleman who left. I think they came back around minutes to 1 this morning. The person of interest left the Tushars hotel room around 2 o'clock. And it was the receptionist who found his body in that room this morning. And that very, very, very ghastly. He said 19 stab wounds. He had 2 stabs to his chest. And all the others seems to be different sections of his back. Blood was on the ceiling. Blood was on the door, the floor, as you can imagine. 19 stab wounds. And the police are investigating and trying to get to the bottom of this issue. And this Tushar was from a very close knit village. I think it's called Tasserine Village, Middle Mazruni. This is Region 7, Middle Maz. And some of the people that I know him as well, and said he was a good fella. He was a good fella. He had some views that weren't too in sync with the government of the day. They said that shouldn't cause harm to anybody. That should not cause harm to anybody. MP Don Hastings Williams took to social media today and said a number of things. How our indigenous people are treated like second class citizens in our own country, and how more should be done for their protection. Here is some of what MP Don Hastings Williams said. Take a look.
We have in Guyana, we have over 200 and something indigenous communities who who are led or headed by a Tushao, or we used to call them village captains. We used to call them, today presently we call them Tushao, but he's a chief of a community. And I want to tell Guyana this morning that finding a Tushao dead at a hotel is very, very disturbing. And I want to send a strong message this morning to all of Guyana and even to the entire world that these Tushaos or chiefs of village communities are equivalent to a mayor of a city. They're the first people of this country. But we all know that we, the indigenous people, still continues to be treated as second-class citizens in this country. How many more will have to die? We lost 20 plus indigenous children to a fire. What has become of it? Unto this date, we haven't heard any satisfactory responses from the government, from the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs concerning those children who we lost. This morning, I have a question. When we bringing the two shows for official meetings, whether it's NTC, whether it is something to do with cash grants, whatever it is, I want to recommend strongly this morning that you give these two shows 24/7 security. I can remember my grandfather used to tell me when Bornham used to bring them to Georgetown to attend meetings, they were secured. Wherever they go, the movements, they had somebody securing them. And I think that was out of respect for these two shows. I am recommending, if you don't want to give them a 24/7 security when they're in Georgetown, either by the Guyana Police Force, pay the two shows well. Give them enough salary so that they can be able to hire their own security guards when they are in the city. The two shows are, like I said, equivalent to a mayor. And we all know that mayors are entitled to security guards or personnel, security personnel, ministers. These two shows are seen as counselors in their community. Any domestic violence, they go to the two show. Anything to do with child welfare, they go to the two show. Anytime a child has any problem with education, any welfare matters, they go to the two show. So the two shows is not only a leader as in leading his counselors, but he ends up sometimes being everything, a man of all jack. And this happens night and day. People come to you at all hours when you are a two-show, trying to find solutions to their problems. It is time in this oil-rich economy, two-shows be paid well so that they can look after their families. When they leave their families home, it's a sacrifice they're making to come to Georgetown, to attend meetings. And many times they go back with unsatisfactory answers to the questions that the villagers would ask them. This is very disturbing, very, very disturbing to know. And I'm also saying, why are you putting them up in hotels that are not properly secured? Put them up in Marriott or put them up at Pegasus. The discrimination against the indigenous people must stop, and it must stop now.
Apologies there. We keep losing our audio. Let me go over what I was saying. Um, I was I was rehearsing for you folks. The police are still investigating the death of Tushao Ridley Joseph, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. As we said, his body was discovered with 19 stab wounds in a hotel signature inn in Queenstown today. Surveillance footage, they tell us, showed that Joseph was returning to the hotel around 12:50, and he was in company of an Amerindian man who was identified as the prime suspect. At this time, the two entered Joseph's room, but the suspect was seen leaving about an hour later. Investigators have found bloodstains, a bottle of the suspect's quote unquote rude boy drink, partial footwear imprints or impressions at the scene, as well as evidence of a violent struggle. They said the suspect was seen heading south along Albert Street and is being tracked through video footage from nearby buildings, and police are also working to confirm his identity, and those investigations are ongoing. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, again, with the entire Tasserine village and that of the Tushao family, Tushao, our thoughts and prayers. Tushao Joseph, that is our thoughts and prayers. Ridley Joseph, our thoughts and prayers are with him. And in neighboring community of Albertown, a gentleman was found dead outside of his home. 54-year-old gentleman was seen coughing up blood just moments, they said, after he started to consume a meal. He has been identified as Kenny Reese. He lived alone at 5th Street, Albertown. So family members and police rushed to the house after receiving reports that Reese had collapsed outside of his house and was in a motionless state, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. This is Albertown, which is just on the apron of Queenstown. So quite a day, folks. Quite a day. Our thoughts and prayers are with Kenny Reese's family as well. Quite a day. And while all of that was happening in the city, folks, up on the East Coast, then we tell you all, once you come in the 592s, it's all manner of things. Up on the East Coast, you had Queenstown, Albertown, and they're telling us up on the East Coast, you had a body was discovered on the East Coast today. Police are investigating the body of a male that was found on the Victoria seashore on the East Coast. No name was given. Circumstances surrounding the death remains unknown at this hour. Police are still investigating this matter, and we intend to have some more information for you guys later on. All we know is that the body of a male, thanks to HGP TV Nightly News, Travis Chase, was found on the Victoria seashore on the East Coast. Folks, as we have more information on that, we're going to have more information for you guys as well. A couple other things we're following that we think you guys ought to know about at this hour. Whole host of death. You had the two persons lost their lives this morning, on Sunday. That horrific accident in Region 3. Horrific accident in Region 3. That being said, what's going on in Madia? Madia madness. We told you folks, this thing was unstructured. It is chaotic. Cash grants was announced October 10th. Today is what day? December 16th. Just now it started sharing. So that the distribution went to Madia today, folks. Went to Madia today. Picture tells 1,000 words. Imagine video. No doubt we'll see scenes like that replicated time and time again in the coming days and weeks and months. A very, very unstructured system. You know, it started out as 200,000 per household, and then it went to adult individual, and then it was 100,000, and then you had to register for it. Then it was the app, and then it's no end in sight. No end in sight to the confusion. And as this cash grant, by the time they finish with that, you got to use every cent to just bring down your blood pressure. What's coming to 590? There it is. Madia. Madia for you in case it went by too fast. Just imagine if everybody there had a bank account you could transfer that money into. But Jack didn't want to listen. Jack didn't want to hear. He only want bills down and so on. He didn't intend to fix anything. That's a normal day for them. But we're not going to accept it. We're not going to say, no, who's been speaking about this matter? Winston Jordan, former finance minister. Well, Jack, you jump on Winston. Winston don't know nothing. He ain't know but cash grant. He don't. Winston taking it, sir. Because he hadn't left in his mother belly. Winston Jordan, former finance minister, had a couple of things to say with the vice president himself over the weekend. He's delusional, for starters. Take a look.
Vice President Bharat Jagdeo told a recent press conference that the presence of former finance minister in the Ministry of Finance, Winston Jordan, was due to Jagdeo's charitable heart. He said that Jordan's role in the finance ministry was infinitesimal. On the program Nation Watch, Jordan said that Jagdeo learned from him. In fact, he's still learning, says Jordan.
When the government came into power in October 1992, I wasn't in Guyana. I was a one-year Fulbright fellowship, the Hubert H. Humphrey Fellowship in the United States at Penn State. It allows you to be attached to a university. I was attached to Penn State University, and then it has all other facets of it, including visits to various American institutions, study tours, and all these kinds of tours.
Jordan said he returned to Guyana in July 1993. He was a public servant appointed by the Public Service Commission. He was therefore not subjected to the political displacement.
So Jagdeo couldn't keep me on. I was a tenured public servant. He couldn't get rid of me or keep me on. I was appointed by the Public Service Commission as the first director of budget. And when I came back in 1993, I felt a a coldness in the ministry, with two political commissars running around and creating havoc in the ministry, Jagdeo and Ramon Gaskin.
He said that Carter Center had asked Jagdeo to prepare a brief on Guyana's economic policy.
So, meanwhile, the Carter Center people heard about me because I was the budget director, heard about me, asked to see me. I told them fine. They came, we had a good, decent discussion. And they asked me if I could produce a short paper, they said no more than 3 or 4 pages, highlighting some of the key issues. And they gave me again the format that they wanted to be done. And I quickly did it for them, short shrift, gave it to them. And there was a girl in it, and she thanked me profusely. She said, this is the kind of thing I'm looking for. And she'd been asking government officials for the papers prior to the conference agenda get going, and she couldn't get it.
He said that Jagdeo, having not spoken to him since he returned, walked into his office and told him about the Carter Center request. He asked Jordan to assist him with his brief for the Carter Center.
Long and short, I did it. And obviously the Carter Center liked it, accepted it, and so on. And I'm telling you, from the ending of that conference, it was, I think, a 3 or 4 day conference, this guy held on me like white on rice. I suddenly became the person for him to attach himself to.
Jordan did the 1994 budget. Asghar Ali, recruited from Jamaica, was the finance minister. He said that he saw ethnic discrimination and racism in the finance ministry.
I gone. So I resigned effective that August and went to the private sector and so on. That same night, that same day I resigned, Jaglio called me at home. Jaglio called me at home, said he heard that I resigned, wanted me to come back. I said, no, I'm not going to come back in the public service. And so I said, no. And then in that conversation, expletives and all kind of things, cussing out Asghar and so on, right? But I said, no, I ain't coming back. I continue working at SEMCO.
The late Cecil Rajana then informed him that he was going back to the finance ministry.
He said, Jaglio wants to go back there. And so said, so done, right? By the June, he called me and tell me, man, come back in the ministry. I said, no, I'm not coming. But he said, no, I'm going to pay you as a consultant.
Jordan returned and worked in the ministry for 12 years. But before that, Jaglio was appointed finance ministry in 1996. The budget had to be presented.
I was trying to help him to prepare the estimates and the speech. I indicated to him that I was prepared to write every other section of the speech, but he must do the introduction and the conclusion, because that was the place for the politics and so on. Mm-hmm. I did not really want to get involved in politics. I guarded my technical status zealously.
Jaglio was supposed to do the political part of the budget.
I was in my office writing, and I went over to his office to ask about a policy. When I entered the office, there were about 18 pieces of balled up paper. I asked myself what the hell was going on here. I picked up one of them, and there was the first line with something. And I asked what was going on. He said his thoughts weren't flowing. The long and short of this story is that I had to do the introduction and the conclusion. The Honorable Member, Mr. Jaglio, has never produced a single budget at the Ministry of Finance. Never, ever.
You hear it for yourself. You're great people. You hear the whole thing. And these people coming to try to dispossess you of your land, your house and so on. You hear the whole thing. Who did it for them? Who helped them along? You see, when St. Jordan was in charge of this finance here, this cash grant system would have looking different. The whole rollout. It would have had more order. It's like they're just pelting this thing at people. You're not treating Guyanese with any dignity. And as we are not. You all heard a man calling for boycotter. People's business and all that now. That's the kind of democracy we're living in. Oh yes, we got freedom of speech here. Boycott the business. We got freedom of association here. Boycott the business. Jordan never got this thing looking so cas. Boycott the business. Lions for Change Nigel you says recently is nonsense. It's foolishness.
They called for a boycott of churches because Dr. Terence Campbell criticized the handling of the Natural Resource Fund is being condemned by the Alliance for Change. AFC leader Nigel Hughes said that Vice President Para Jaglio called Campbell a racist.
That was a dog whistle. And today, we have seen on social media several citizens calling for the boycott of Dr. Campbell's businesses. I don't believe that if you are as responsible as a person who is serving their 4th term as president and who reminded us just yesterday that he became president at 35 and now at 60, he's still president, that it is a responsible act to call a citizen out, a business person, as racist when there's absolutely no basis for doing so.
He said that the call for a boycott will provoke a reaction. The entire business community could see several calls for boycotts on other businesses. Mr. Terence Campbell has stated that the Natural Resource Fund Board is a rubber stamp. He said that his efforts to be provided with the necessary justifications for withdrawals from the fund have been stymied. He asserted that the lack of transparency in the spending isn't in keeping with the provisions of the Natural Resources Fund Act because there is no information of how the funds withdrawn are being expended.
And therefore, where there has been a direct attack on the economic viability of a citizen who chose courageously to comment on the National Resource Fund, he didn't attack anybody. He spoke specifically about the Natural Resource Fund and how it was managed. And he specifically spoke about a politician and their opposing views at different times, which are convenient to them. He ends up being identified as a racist, and his business is now being the subject of a boycott.
Hughes said that this is an attack by Jagdia, whom he described as a fourth-term president, against someone who hasn't found favor with him.
One doesn't need to go to the fact that he's African at this point. The fact that a businessman has criticized a politician, former president, still serving de facto fourth term, and that becomes a basis to describe that businessman as racist, being a dog whistle call, I condemn that.
He said that the disadvantaged position of black people is a matter of record.
The fact that people of African descent don't get the same opportunities as anybody else, that's a matter of record. That's a matter of data that can be established. So I am prepared to go as far to say that the president who picks a citizen who is a businessman, calls him a racist, knowing fully well that that's a dog whistle call to his supporters to boycott that business. And I saw this afternoon that Mr. Burke has published a page from Mr. Sanjay Puran calling for the boycott of Mr. Campbell's businesses.
The fallout will be horrendous, he said.
Yeah, welcome back, folks. Talking about advantages and disadvantages. You know, Epanaji had a virtual meeting over the weekend. Epanaji, this is the International Decade of People of African Descent Assembly, Guyana. They had a virtual panel discussion over the weekend concerning this bill that is coming before the National Assembly to tweak the Acquisition of Land for Public Purposes Amendment Act. It's coming to tweak that specific piece of legislation. It is the Acquisition for Land for Public Purposes Amendment Act. Now, when they do this, you're talking about advantage and disadvantage. They're not going to be concerned who got title and transport. If they want your land, they want your land. So they're escalating this thing. Boycott the business, take the land. Attorney at law Darren Wade was at this virtual panel discussion over the weekend. And attorney at law Wade says it is untenable, unacceptable, this dastardly piece of legislation that they're bringing. They're building on what happened at Peters Hall and how the court embarrassed them. So they want to circumvent that now by bringing this piece of legislation. This is Bill number 16 of 2024. And as I said, it seeks to amend the Acquisition of Land for Public Purposes Amendment Act. Here's attorney at law Darren Wade at that forum over the weekend. Unacceptable, he says.
I believe that we are at a crossroad as it relates to African ancestral lands in Guyana. The question here is whether or not there is any conflict with the proposed amendments and the current laws of Guyana, and in particularly as it relates to African ancestral lands. I will now read from Section 3 of the proposed amendment. Section 20, and it says Section 24A of the Principal Act is amended by substituting for the section, that section the following. Section 28.1, where any land is required under this act, an interested and authorized person may make a request to the minister for an advance payment on the account of any purchase money or adequate compensation payable under this act. What is an interested person or an authorized person? My legal mind tells me that this part of the section is inconsistent with our law, with the laws of Guyana. It is established by our apex court, the Caribbean Court of Justice, that persons in Guyana owes an absolute and indefeasible title. So I cannot appreciate this section that it speaks an interested and authorized person. What is an interested person? Isn't it not a title holder or someone with a power of attorney? But this section appears to give the minister a wide discretion. And it goes on to say, if the minister is satisfied with proof of title. So if you appear before the minister with a purported transport, we don't know if it's fraudulent. We don't know if it's authentic. The minister now will determine, use his discretion to say, okay, I will acquire this land, I'm going to give A the monies. There is no requirement for advertising. There is no requirement for consultation with the people of the land of which they're seeking to acquire. This piece of legislation is draconian. I recall before I did law, we did a program at the University of Guyana called Development Support Communication, whereby you engage with the parties who the project is going to affect. So this legislation is a recipe for fraud and fraudulent conduct. How will we treat with what we are called family properties? As Brother Elton mentioned, and many of our properties for decades have not been probated. So how are we going to treat with those properties? Is it that one family member out of 100 who's entitled to a parcel of land approach the minister, knowing the PPP, knowing the government, give the minister give that one family member 30 pieces of silver, and he or she sells or agree to the takeover, and there's no recourse for other family members because they say interested and authorized person. And the funny thing is, there is no definition of what an interested person is, or no definition of what an authorized person is. And I believe that was purposely done. This piece of proposal is a recipe for fraud, and it's an attempt, a fraud assault on our ancestors, the descendants, and all Guyanese, because it gives the minister the power to steal. It gives the minister the power to conspire without any to conspire and steal lands, all lands in this country, matter of fact. And African ancestral lands, they are dear to us because our forefathers, they came here, they developed these lands, and to see it being taken away in such a manner is unacceptable.
Yep. We're gonna bring you more on this issue, folks. This bill is coming before the National Assembly quite soon. This is the bill number 16 of 2024, and it seeks to amend the Acquisition of Land for Public Purposes Amendment Act. And this got a lot of implications, folks. It has a lot of implications. So you can hear more on that. But let us end, folks, where we started. Let us end where we started, on the Tashana Wilson story. Melina Wilson, Tashana's mother, recounts the hours before her death at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. For the opener of our program, she told us she was admitted because she had flu-like symptoms. She went for a simple test. She's admitted for this flu-like symptoms. An expectant mother. And then she tells her mother by way of telephone, I'm not feeling the baby anymore. I am not feeling the baby. Here's what happens next.
About 9 o'clock time, she come and start crying. Mommy, there's my baby girl dead. So I said, okay, Tashana, I'm coming. I leave, I go to the hospital. I spoke to two doctors. One come first, she talked to me, said, the baby died. So I said, doctor, if you have a high sugar and you're pregnant, the baby could die, right? She said, yes. I said, okay. I said, doctor, my daughter called whole night, whole afternoon, saying her blood sugar was high, and nobody didn't give her anything. But she didn't pay me no mind, to be honest speaking. But done. I left. I go away. I go back for 12 o'clock visit. Everything was okay. The nurse at the time, the sugar, you know, I already got to get you the insulin and she okay, good. I go back 4 o'clock. When I go 4 o'clock, she come out to me and she talk. She gasped, so the doctor come out and said, doctor, what can I know? The first thing I asked, how is Tisha and the blood sugar? She said, I can't remember if it's either 120 or 130. But I know it is not far from getting low, right? Because I know the type of person I know it cannot go. So the doctor tell me the time, you know, she gonna go and get the baby and you know. So I said, okay. I go and I
So
buy
this
an
is
egg bar.
this is
That is
4 o'clock.
Sunday
This Sunday
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yes.
The baby's still in her. You said the
Yes.
baby has transpired, still in her,
Yes.
and yourself, her, and the doctor talking.
Yes. So by the time I got the gate and buy the egg bar because I said I wanted to give her something that, you know, at least gonna step up because that is my fear, the low sugar. Right? So I said, doctor,
Is it normal that somebody whose baby, because you said since the morning she told you the baby was gone. Is
Yes.
that a normal thing that a dead fetus will still be in the mother till in the
Well,
afternoon?
to be honest speaking, I don't know how they just do it, right? Yes, but they said because this is an insurance that's dying, you a week on. Yes. Yeah, anyhow, I where they were gonna bring the thing, she done gone inside. They take her inside and I speak to the as a doctor, a gap it was a female Negro. Doctor said Tashana problem is low sugar. As I kindly asked, she said, yes, yes. I'm gonna take care of her. I'm gonna test her every hour, monitor her every hour. And so I said,
So they took her to ICU to expel the fetus. That's why they're taking her to ICU.
no.
What
They
was
said
the
they're
purpose?
taking her to labor room from the ICU.
Okay, okay.
Yes, they're taking her to the labor room. So I said, okay. I said, doctor, please she should eat. You know, I talk to the doctor because she got to get strength to push out the baby. And I'm afraid the blood sugar might get low because that is her problem. Not really the high, the low. And she said, okay, well, anyhow, I come home, like, let's say, like 5 o'clock. I reach home. And around 6 o'clock, time Tashana called me. Remember that don't give insert the tablet into her. She getting pain. This is the mom, you got my belly hurt in my bad. So I said, okay. So I asked her, so where the doctor? Come on, she told me she gonna be in there with her. She said, doctor in there, because they don't care her into labor room. She said, no, doctor. She said, nurse isn't in here. And yo, she talk. I said, cut off your phone and save your credit. Right, good. Because I know much she got, because whole time she called, so I didn't put credit touch your phone. At like 6:30, 7 o'clock, I called Tashana, no answer. The phone, the person I do a call on internet, she ain't done line. I said, la call on straight call. The phone ring till it ring out. I call again, it ring till it ring out. I call, so I said, hey man, like she gone and get baby. So I said, I'm Mark, she buy. I said, when you go to the hospital, go away early before you go to work. Rap at the door. and asked me if Toshana okay she blood sugar because there's me problem, you know, the blood sugar, the lowness. So he go to the door, he said he knocked, nobody didn't come out. Call again, he said, Auntie Melly, nobody didn't come out as yet. So I said, all right, I said, you wait there. All of them I hear one scream out. When I hear the scream, my daughter said, not tiny scream there. I said, Mark, who scream? Well, you know, it's she but and I hear she make two cough, but to be honest speaking, I didn't hear the cough. Because maybe the cough was a little low.
So he's outside the labor room.
Yes, and I'm on the phone with him. Right? So I said, all right. He said, with the, you see, nurses start getting busy. Right? Fly out. Then he see a doctor but go in. So he said, when he asked one of the nurses that, you know at the hospital, he said, Tashana Wilson, okay, but she wait with it, you gotta talk to the doctor. I should go inside, right? So he said, he wait, 10 o'clock pass. I on the phone, I call him steady, they're cutting up and call back. He said, the
He's there
doctor
from the
come out as
afternoon right
yet.
into the evening.
Yes, because he waiting now, because he had to go to work for 10 o'clock. So 10 past, I said, doctor, I said, no, Mark, how you gonna go to work by? He said, yeah, we waiting on the doctor. Bob, the doctor come out. The doctor said, she's okay. She never said, she don't got a baby, you know. She never tell you though. She's okay. You belong to work, you get a uniform and everything. I'm going to call you. Right? And he go away. So when he go away, I there 10:30, reach 11 o'clock. But like I just feeling uneasy, like, you know. And I say, no, something. Melly go to the hospital. I as a lady don't like motorbike. I asked her drop. I said, please, I drop straight to the hospital. I asked my son-in-law, I said, drop me to the hospital now. I walk on money to pay taxi to come home back. And I said, okay, you could go along now. And I walk in. When I go to the labor room, I see the labor room open. She said, essentially it was open. But when I look in, I ain't see nobody, right? So I ain't think of nothing. But I pull back myself at the side. I saw a doctor coming from theater side, and he asked him, he checked back when he go in the room. He said, you who? I said, I'm Tashana Wilson's mom. He said, okay. And he go in the living room. But that, I saw a couple, you know, people peeping me, come out, peep and going back. So I said, the same thing. So I said, I want to make sure okay. Then the doctor come out to me and said, well, she got a baby. And the baby born, the baby girl is in. I said, yes. The baby born and she getting a little difficulty in breathing. Right? But so I said, doctor tell me, is she conscious? She said, yes, she's conscious. But they put her in a machine. They were asked if she conscious. She said, yes. So I said, doctor, between me and you. Because I said, she blood sugar okay. I said, check the urination. I can't really say she can make it or, you know, I wouldn't, you know. So I says, okay, but I said, God in my mind, once it's like this. She said, anyhow, I'm going to, so I said, I'm going to stick around. She said, oh, can she go inside now? Then a nurse come out to me because she saw me there. She come outside. She said, is your daughter? No. She said, who is the girl in there to you? I said, my daughter. And I could see the face impression, just thing. And she said, okay. I said, tell me. She said, I can't give no information. I said, she alive? She said, yes. I can't give no information. She go inside back, right? Good. But there, I called my daughter. Because they're up, I just walking, pulling up and everything. I called my daughter at 12:19. Right? I said, Aliyah, come to the hospital. Because she's a nurse at the hospital, but she's a student. So she working the day. So, and she said, I said, no, it's Tashana. Just imagine me calling nobody else in the room because I said, I'm thinking negative. Don't mind, you understand? Because she said, Tashana, they set up Tashana, they put she on motion. But you know, they mean, tell me like even something serious. Just that, you know, she get a little difficulty breathing. And there. Lang. They mean coming back. Like, after one going on to 2 days when they come up to me. and different doctors identify themselves to me. Then they're going to think, oh, she got a baby at the time he ate something, and then she developed a breathing problem and a thing, and they try for this and that. And so if I hear the one say, she said, what you just say, if she didn't make it, I'm like, I said, what you just say, if she didn't make it, right? So I said, what? And I break down, right? Then I come. And I done a wait, thing, and I come from them. Because I never tell me that my baby. I never tell me why they can't she talk or not. Why they never tell me nothing that she got no problem. All day at the hospital. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. Oh my baby. Oh. Oh, I'm taking, I'm trying my best to hold up. I'm trying. All the music trying my best. But I can't take it. My baby was murdered. Oh my God. Wait, Lord, read me. Yeah, wait, I go talk. Wait. Oh, Ben. My baby. Oh, Father, you know. Oh, God, give me strength.
Melina Wilson and the family, the Wilson family, they're alleging that the New Amsterdam Public Hospital was negligent in the death of Tashana Wilson, 24-year-old daughter, sister, a friend. The Wilson family, they're also alleging a lack of doctoral supervision during critical moments of Tashana Wilson's stay at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. The Wilson family are also alleging the improper use of medication that was given to Tashana Wilson. The Wilson family are also alleging that there were substantial delays in removing the stillborn baby from Tashana Wilson's body. The Wilson family, they're also alleging that there's contradictory information from the staff and administration of the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. The Wilson family, they're also alleging suspicion in the handling of critical evidence. The family says that Tashana's clothes, they were all washed and returned to the family. Suspicion, they say in handling of the clothing evidence. The Wilson family is also accusing the hospital of lack of communication and compassion in the death of Tashana Wilson. The postmortem findings says that there was fluid in the lungs of Tashana Wilson and that she died of kidney failure. The Wilson family, they're asking for justice. They're alleging that there's a lack of accountability at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, and they're calling for justice. The Wilsons, they're demanding justice tonight. And there's where we leave it. Thanks for joining our broadcast, folks. That's our time, and that's our program. Stay safe.